Yep, we're doing this, ladies and gentlemen. Forgive my voice, there's no mouthful here. So, you'll know in time why I have this mask on. I promise you, all will be revealed by the end of the video. I'm sorry, I can't keep a straight face, man. This mask is so ridiculous. Okay, alright. So South Park, the fractured but whole, yells at you if you try to cheat. Basically, what ends up happening is that there's a way for you to cheat in the game. If you do it, Cartman dresses up as a New England Patriots football kind of manager, coach guy, and yells at you. And there's an explanation on this page that goes into the description down below, and it just yells at you. It explains and takes the piss out of why you shouldn't be cheating. Microsoft hasn't been supportive for the Japanese games, says NIS America. That's NIS America. They're very well known for JRPGs and things like that. This isn't a shocking statement for me, but what they said in this article is that Microsoft doesn't really support them that much, and on top of that, they also do not, they don't order a lot of quantities of their games. They usually just go for the minimums, and that's for the Xbox One system. NIS is going to stay committed to developing for the Xbox One, but they would like to see more support from the company itself. And I think, though, the problem is that a lot of people who buy it, the Xbox and that kind of brand, they don't really buy it for RPGs, or traditionally. So I remember back on the 360, there's a few games like Tales of Vesperia, Blue Dragon, and these are great RPGs, but there weren't a lot of RPGs as opposed to something like the PlayStation. Again, it's still got the big heavy hitters like Final Fantasy and things like that, but a lot of people are more accustomed to the Nintendo and the PlayStation for their RPGs, as well as the 3DS. So it's kind of silly asking a company that's very well known for more first-person shooter action-oriented games to order a lot from RPGs. So it makes sense that NIS of America will continue their support, but they want more stuff and more support on the Xbox One. And again, the Xbox One is not selling well in Japan, but that has to do again with the culture and how they view game consoles and what game consoles they would rather play. So this one is interesting. Apparently a man has been charged with selling Call of Duty games stolen from a Sony factory. Now the authorities state that they don't have any idea, neither Sony nor the authorities nor the factory knows how this man got them, because they don't have a record of him working at the place. But these games were being sold for $45 on eBay, along with lots of other games as well, including Madden 18. And what ended up happening is that this is really serious and very illegal to do. If you go to a store and you try to get a game even one day early, their cash registers are synced to those dates and they cannot sell this to you. I've done it before. I accidentally was able to buy a Mario and Luigi game for the DS a while ago, 3 days early, and they wouldn't let me get it at the register because it wasn't out yet. It was a mistake for them to put it out on the floor. So these places do get them early, but you literally can't purchase them from there. So this definitely did come from a factory. It was stolen, and that's unfortunate, but this does happen. I used to work at a book factory, R&R Donnelly's, and whenever they had books come through, people did steal them and attempt to sell them, especially books like Encyclopedia Britannica's, Harry Potter books. And at times, there were shakedowns when you'd leave the factory, when they had a really big book that was really important. It could not get leaked no matter what. So it's really crazy that they do those things at the factory. I'm surprised someone was able to steal this. So we'll see more news about this. But it really ain't worth going to jail for, to steal some video games and sell them for 45 bucks each on eBay. So the new Nintendo Switch update allows you to add video recording and save transfers. This is a big thing because it didn't have these before, especially the save transfers. I know a lot of people are excited for video recording, but just keep in mind that if you upload any of that footage to YouTube, Nintendo's going to claim it and take all your money. So if you want to show the world something cool, awesome. But other than that, Nintendo's going to take your cash. So the save transfer thing is a little bit more important though, because you're able to, if you have a broken Nintendo Switch or your Nintendo Switch is going, or you have to do something with it and send it away and get it repaired, you can at least transfer yours over to another one. Sony has announced a controller that's just like a Joy-Con, believe it or not. I mean, they did say they weren't going to compete with the Switch. This is kind of silly. This is an official controller. It's not just third party. This is officially licensed. This is the mini wired gamepad, and it was revealed on a post on the PlayStation blog. It looks just like a Joy-Con, just a little bit bigger and more refined. It's a wired version of the PlayStation 4 controller, and it's geared and targeted towards children because of the smaller gamepad design. So if kids have problems holding the bigger PlayStation 4 controller, now they can use the smaller one. But just as I said with the Xbox One not having RPGs, the PlayStation 4 doesn't have an extremely large library of tiny children kid-friendly games. Well, yes, many of the games can be played for children. If you look at the ESRB rating system, these controllers, by the time children are around 8 or 9 years old, yeah, they still have small hands, but they can use the regular PlayStation 4 controller. So I'm not entirely sure where exactly this controller is geared towards, like the age group, but they did say it was geared towards children. The retail price is going to be $30, and it comes with a 10-foot cable, so maybe you just like an extra controller and you don't want to pay the $55 to $60 for a wireless DualShock. That's an alternative, I guess, but there you go. So EA is refocusing a Star Wars game, and Viscearal Games is closing. This is a big story that recently came out. Now, I'm not sure what this Star Wars game exactly is, but they said they are closing down the studio, and they are going to be sending over the work to their studios themselves. The EAs that there are, EA Worldwide Studios and EA in Vancouver, leading the project. This is a linear story-based game. And title will be reshaped with a broader experience that allows for a variety of player agencies learning into capabilities of the Frostbite engine, reimagining central elements of the game, and the Star Wars adventure of greater depth and broader exploration. So with that said, EA is very well known for shutting down studios. Rip Westwood, rip the Sims, man, I'm telling you. They're very well known for this stuff, and I'm not saying that this stuff isn't needed to be done or not needed to be done. There's a lot more to the story, so read it in the description below. Again, I'll put the link. And it's crazy, man, to see these studios just close down. Again, having a job as a video game developer, not exactly the safest job in the world. It's crazy, man. Here's something that might perk you up and give you a little bit of good news. I can't believe I'm saying this. Okay, according to that hashtag show, Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, Mark Wahlberg, and Dwayne Johnson are all allegedly among the studio's top voice actors that are going to be coming for Detective Pikachu in a movie. See, I told you the mask would fit this this group of news. Yeah, so this is pretty crazy, man. There's not much else to say other than that. I mean, Hugh Jackman voicing Pikachu, Ryan Reynolds voicing Pikachu. Hey, alright. So here's something very, very strange. This is going to be a race conversation here. Dungeons & Dragons stumbles with its revisions of the game's major black culture. So you can read this article if you'd like to. There's a lot that goes into this. I'm not a big Dungeons & Dragons player, but I'm gonna say this. If you're creating a fantasy world, does it really matter where the races originated from or where they come from? What matters is where you're going and what you're playing currently. So if you're going to make a huge revision of something, you know, and you're gonna try and claim that this is really important, this is super important, but then at the same time have a man riding a giant T-Rex through the city streets alongside a knight, and as well as a person who's from the future with an alien blaster, you're gonna have a hard time convincing me that I'm really going to care where a certain race originated from or came from, or what it honestly matters, because it doesn't. Dungeons & Dragons is crazy. Basically, if you have a dungeon master who is silly and fun, you could essentially roll dice and have anything happen. At the end of the day, that's how imagination works. You could roll the dice to avoid a trap by using some chewing gum in your mouth. Hey, you have to roll a 20 to avoid this trap using the chewing gum. A spear shoots out of the wall. You threw your chewing gum on the spear tip and it stuck to the side of you with no damage. That's how it goes. Oh, you rolled a 20, that's what happened. Oh, you rolled a 19, the spear pierces you and you're dead. Do you see what I'm saying? It's pretty crazy to sit here and say, oh, the official rules state this is where this race comes from and it's so important. No. No. This is a fantasy made-up world where imagination exists and fun can happen. So, pretty crazy to see stuff like that. Oh, well, you know, at the end of the day, this stuff is going to continue to happen because of the time we live in. That'll do it for What You Missed News. This face represents half the stories I covered. Some of them serious, some of them not so serious. But when you get into video game, race, and political discussions, it's quite silly to me. I've always been about keeping politics out of video games, but in this instance, there's literally no way you could avoid it with the social and political climate. So there you go. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave me a big thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy the video, leave me a thumbs down and let me know what I can do better next time. I've been your host, Protomario, and I'm signing out. Thanks for watching. As always, good gaming, and God bless.